the Bradley. Are we any plans to do the Bradley? The hotel chat. Are we going to do? Because I want to do that. I want to be your front of door guy. I want to be like. I want to be the guy. I'm like the Gap greeter at the Bradley. He's building a friggin' hotel after his name. How great is that?
That's awesome.
Yeah, you got to do that.
Yeah, I'm doing it. So the thing is, I've got so much shit on the go.
Yeah,
I have like 17 condo projects on the go in Canada. I've got probably 4 apartment buildings. I think it's 4, maybe 5 apartment buildings that are on the drawing boards. I have this new thing I just told you about. And then I have the hotel project, which we have 2 sites in Toronto. I'm working on a site in Calgary.
Nice.
And I'm going to buy a motel in Niagara Falls.
Really?
And turn into like the coolest kind of rock and roll
about time
hotel in Niagara Falls.
Do that.
It's going to have like one of those center court cool pools, a bar.
Love it.
A great little restaurant.
Bring back rollerblades.
50 rooms.
Or roller skates, you know?
Hello up there. It's Brad J. Lamb. You too can become a condo millionaire. The Todd Shapiro Show. Canada Laughs. SiriusXM 168.
How you doing?
I'm doing really well.
You look good.
Do I?
You put yourself together always so nicely. Meet Hunter Collins.
Thank you. Yeah, we said hello. Yeah.
Hello.
You were a comedian, I imagine.
One of the worst. Top 5 worst.
Wow.
I told Hunter, I go, Hunter's not allowed talking today.
So you're not funny at all then.
Terrible.
To be honest, I will say probably the fun, like out of all the guys, and I've developed a great friendship with many of these comedians now. Hunter is I think one of the best, but one of the foulest.
Yeah, pretty foul.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I like dirty.
Man. Oh, man. I mean, don't tempt me, man.
He's like, it's a different game.
I've been warned not to step on your toes.
No.
Hey, don't hold back for me, man.
Okay.
I love dirty comedians.
All right, no holding back. Here we go.
Dirty everything, by the way.
Yeah, dirty everything.
All right.
I love it.
Lamb's a baller.
That should be your new billboard.
Lamb's a baller.
Yeah.
Big balls.
Big ball.
There we go.
Yeah.
I like it. Lambs.
I'm actually thinking of my next billboard.
Oh, we can have Honestly, we should just be there and part of the brainstorm.
I don't know about that.
No, we'll come up with something good for you.
A lamb with huge balls, like a lamb with my head on it, with huge swollen balls.
Oh, yeah.
Why not? Yeah. And
Photoshop your
banks
face
would
on
love that, right?
Oh, I see. Do the banks?
That's what you know that I used to do that, right?
To do what? Sorry.
Did you know I used to Photoshop my face on a lamb?
Yes. Oh, yeah. I remember that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
But no, we should keep the big balls, and then you're right. You basically right. You never get neutered.
Or maybe I could hump my competition or something.
Oh, humping the competition. You're like taking down some of these big ones. You already have. Like, there's no more urban core and stuff like that. You know, like
no. That's a Phoenix Rising, my friend. They're coming back.
Oh, they're coming back.
Sure.
How's the is the real estate development game just like it continued to boom in 2017? Is this crazy?
You know what? It's going to be this year. Like last year was insanity for the city. You know that the average real estate price went up about almost 20% this year overall in Toronto. Condos went up almost 17%, which is big for condos. But there's less for sale. There's less. So the city in 15 years has changed dramatically. I think you'd acknowledge it's a completely different city. Every 5 years, it's a new city, right? So the amount of property for sale right now in January is a 15-year low. There's in the condo market, for instance, which has always got a lot of inventory. There's only 670 condos for sale in the entire city, up to Eglinton, DVP, Dufferin, the Lake. Last year at this time, there were 1,500 condos. There's only 670. Whoa. It's going to be a terrible year for buyers.
So because this is the supply and demand, there's not enough demand now.
There's nothing. No, there's not enough supply.
That's what I meant to say. That's what I meant to say. That's what I meant.
Yeah, no. So basically, what it is that the city in their wild wisdom is shutting down development, right? And all the tricks that they play, all the little games they play to shut down development are slowly being successful at that. And the amount of land that's available today is insignificant in the grand scheme of things. There's really nothing. Although there's some big pieces that are coming, but but they're massive pieces. They're not really going to be residential, and there's no houses. There's no house land anywhere. Like if you look at the green belt and how it's choked off. And by the way, I'm a fan of the green belt. I think it's the right thing to do, but it's choked off land supply all the way down to Fort Erie. Like if you look at what's available in lots in Fort Erie and Niagara Falls and St. Catharines, which by the way, people are moving from Toronto there and commuting.
Well, and I know you're a big fan of Hamilton. I know you're starting Television City soon in Hamilton, correct? And that's there's a GO station there that's going to be built right. I think on James.
It's already done.
It's functional? Is it on James or Locke? Or it's on
at the end of James.
At the end of James, and then just right down to Toronto. You're here for
50 minutes.
Go train or go bus?
Go train.
That's great.
Yeah. That's great. That's great for people. Are you excited about the Hamilton project?
I got to tell you that. I think Hamilton, I think you have to revisit Hamilton and go and see it. I think Hamilton is the coolest city.
Wow.
I think because a lot of people have left Toronto, given up on, the cost of living here and the cost of creating here. Like
I'm going to be one of those guys soon. I'm telling you.
A restaurant here is a $2 million. I mean, you can start a restaurant for less, but $2 million is not a lot of money spent on a restaurant. And in Hamilton, you can open up a restaurant for $250, and the thing's still full. People are still there eating every day. You may be charging 20 or 30% less, but you have an opportunity to make money with far less money there. And it's full of young people, and they're filling the city up, and it's a cool place. And there's lots of change happening in Hamilton. I'm a huge fan of Hamilton.
Does it remind you? Sorry, Hunter. Does it remind you of King West about 15 years ago when we sort of first started to know each other, and like that little area where it just started
it
to?
Does. But it also reminds me of Brooklyn 10 years ago, even 12 years ago, and reminds me of Pittsburgh because Hamilton is tiny. Like the downtown core is hemmed in by the mountain or the escarpment, the lake and the lake, because the lake wraps around, right? Mm-hmm. And then the expressway, the 403 that runs through it. So it's tiny, and so is Pittsburgh, because Pittsburgh is Three Rivers. It's at the tip of Three Rivers. So it's like the ability to develop Hamilton is limited anyways in the way of high rise. I just am a massive fan of Hamilton, and prices in Hamilton went up as much as prices in Toronto last year.
Hey, Hunter, we got to sell our Tim Horton hockey cards, try and get some land down in Hamilton.
Hamilton reminds me of a drunk relative hitting on me.
Okay.
That's not fair.
Oh, goodness.
Great town.
You went to some parties with drunk relatives in Hamilton? They were hitting on you?
Oh, yeah, big time. Yeah. And now it's a sordid story. I'm glad they have the GO train there, because I got 3 baby mamas and a baby daddy in Hamilton.
Really?
Yeah, I'm an irresponsible man.
Dirty. That sounds dirty. That sounds very dirty. No, in all seriousness, though.
Is it losing the hammer?
Yes.
Like the hammer, the steel town? It's kind of losing that.
100%. It's, I'm telling you, it's a cool city. It's only going to get cooler. And, in 10 years, people are going to listen. Like, I think that Toronto is going to be so much more expensive in 10 years than it is today. And I think that basically, if you don't have a great job, or your parents aren't subsidizing your income, you're going to be living in a very, very, very small micro apartment, right? Or government housing. That's the future for young people in Toronto. But you can go like Scarborough. Like Scarborough's going to get far cooler than it is, because young people are going to be forced to move out that way. And, parts of Mississauga are going to feel more like a downtown. There's going to be far more going on in Mississauga than is today. And it's going to go right down the Golden Horseshoe to Fort Erie. And you're going to see these little pockets of things happening that you wouldn't expect in like Niagara Falls or Hamilton. Hamilton's going to be, I think it's cool now. I think it's going to be a very great city in 10 years, and you won't recognize it.
Great art scene in Hamilton. Great music, great comedy.
It's comedy. Comedy's a big scene out there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really.
Except for Eric Johnston, but it's just a guy.
He's got a bad rep.
Okay,
but yeah, they got, Gavin Stevens and Mace Coloni, Pat Coppolino, a lot of guys really doing well out there and who hustle a lot, and
keep it going.
Yeah, there's lots of shows and it's good quality
and live music. Great live music.
Yeah, great stuff. Yeah,
bands and stuff. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's got a decent arena, and it's got a new football facility, and I don't like CFL's not my bag, but like there's a lot going on in Hamilton, a lot more than people think.
That's what it should say on your billboard.
A lot more going on than you think.
No, that's not my bag. Okay. Well, because technically it's the Lambs part of the bag. You're just the head.
It's the Canadian football that's not my bag.
It's I never understood, Brad. The ball is bigger, and the players typically are smaller because they're just, they're not. And why would you want to make an unfair advantage to guys with smaller hands and give them a bigger ball? I didn't get that.
Well, then they give them the bigger field so they don't get hit.
Oh, I see.
They can run forever and not get hit.
They could just go.
I don't know. I don't want to piss off people that love the Canadian football.
No, you're right. There's a lot of good diehard fans, and that's an important thing. Last week, you tweeted out a very interesting article about 3 post-truths about global energy and climate change. And what are your thoughts that are continually going on with this debate? And then, of course, Trump coming in now, and there's some are saying he's a global climate denier. What's going on?
Did you read that article? That very interesting article.
No, I would, but I'm intrigued. I didn't. The recent one about Trump. That article?
The one I posted.
Oh no. Okay.
So basically,
sorry, calling me out on it.
Basically, though, what I find irritating about listen, global warming is a enormous problem, and it's now not reversible. We're going to see it unfold to some extent. So it's what we do, with I guess 100 years from now or 150 years from now to see what we'll live like. But one of the things that really annoys me is like activists who don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They're just anarchists and activists for the sake of it because they hate shit and success, right? so no, it's true. There's just tons of these people that don't even fucking read except for the nihilist stupid shit that they publish on the internet, right? So here's the thing, right? So like Leonardo DiCaprio is a poster boy for global warming. And I actually think the guy's I like his movies. I think he's a good guy. I think he's got a big heart. But he's not educated. So he makes a movie called The Revenant near Calgary, up in the North Edmonton, and while he's there, he makes a documentary about global warming, and he slams the oil sands. Okay, now the oil sands are filthy for sure. They pollute the world, no worse than any other oil field, really.
Or cow farts.
Well, cow farts are another problem.
At least those are delicious.
But which, by the way, when I was in Calgary, I was eating in a steakhouse, and guess who was sitting next to me?
Farting cow.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
No way.
Eating fucking steak.
Yeah. Wow. Did you say hi to him at least?
No.
Okay.
Anyways, so here's the thing, right? So, Leonardo went to the Golden Globes, and I guarantee you he was in one of those black limos lined up for an hour and a half, pooping out gas and smells and everything else, CO2. So how can this guy
private jets
to his island in Ambergris Key in Roat or in Belize? He's building a resort there, and it's a green resort. But just the idea of having to fly to the fucking resort makes it not green. Mm-hmm. Unless you can walk there or ride a bike, it's not a fucking green resort. You got to get in a jet airplane. So the thing that annoys me with this is that, like, we can't eliminate airplanes. Airplanes can only fly continent to continent in any kind of fashion that a human being will put up with. It was with jets, right? So, like, oil is a necessity. We need oil until we don't need oil. We need oil for a lot longer than people think. So it annoys me how people fight things like pipelines, the pipeline through the United States to, I think it's going to New Orleans or Texas, the Canadian pipeline there, the Keystone, right? It's taking oil from Alberta and shipping it down to the U.S. Right now it goes by train. Trains derail all the time and cause toxic, massive explosions, like Megantic in Quebec, right? Huge problem. If we don't have pipelines, there's no safe way to transfer oil. And, like, I would love an oilless world, but it's not reality.
We have to deal with the reality, exactly. And if there's a necessity there, you see things too clearly. That's the problem.
Well, here's the thing. There's a guy by the name of Gwyn Morgan, who I've posted a few of his articles. He used to run Encana. He was the CEO of Encana. And so he's an oil guy. But the guy sees the world in oil the way we should see the world in oil. Like he's not pro-oil. He's fully aware of the issues involving oil, but also aware of the limitations of eliminating oil from our world. Like, by the way, this is all made from oil. It's plastic.
Right.
Like, people don't, these fucking anarchists have no idea that their cell phone is made out of fucking oil, right? They don't. They don't even know what plastic's made out of.
You're preaching the choir when it comes to me, because the thing I hate is hypocrisy. It's the thing I hate the most of this world, and so many people do it. Even Meryl Streep's speech on Trump, like I agree with what she was going up there to say, but don't then knock MMA and NFL fans. Like, that now you're knocking out, there's hypocrisy there. You can't approach things. It's kind of why I've always appreciated Obama's speeches. He rarely calls out other people for their problems. He just deals with either something that there's hope or a problem that needs to be fixed. He doesn't blame it on anybody else. And one of the things he said, and we played it already on this show, Brad, which sort of reminds me of what you're doing. He talked about, did you watch the farewell speech last night?
I watched part of it.
There was one part there, and we played it on the show earlier, where it just basically talks about, if you're a young black youth or a middle-aged white guy, let's just try and understand each other before we sort of support each other in our own little Facebook groups and our own, to talk about what the problems are. Because unless we understand things, we're never going to kind of come to some sort of peaceful resolution or some sort of conclusion. Right. And it's the same with what you're talking about when it comes to the oil. I mean, let's understand it before we just go and fight it. And that's what people need to do.
Yeah, I mean, just flat out eliminating it's not an answer. But anyway, this guy, Gwyn Morgan, if anyone's interested in issues that revolving on oil, they should read what the guy has written. I think he's spot on. He did a funny thing about Hawaii, being picked up from this, eco resort in Hawaii, or at least they're trying to be, a green resort, and they picked him up in a Tellus. Sorry, what's the name of that car?
The Tesla.
Tesla.
Yeah.
Main brain fart there.
That's all right.
Tesla.
Okay.
And he said so the driver was very excited about driving a Tesla, and we're just saving the world here, and we're not emitting CO2 gas. He said, really? Well, so how does Tesla run? He goes, well, it's on electricity. He goes, and how is electricity generated in the island of Hawaii? I don't know. Well, it's generated by burning oil, which is actually worse. So there's more losses generating electricity from oil, transmitting that through a line into a car, and then the losses, the friction losses or the efficiency losses. It's actually cheaper in the environment from the standpoint of emissions of CO2 to just drive a fucking gas car.
Wow, I didn't know that.
In Hawaii.
In Hawaii, yeah.
Depends where
you're
where you're bringing the energy, exactly. Yeah. I just don't like I like the idea of the Tesla. I don't like that huge, it's like huge, massive TV there. Have you seen it in the middle console? It's too much.
Yeah.
It's distracting.
Yeah, but it's a beautiful car. It's the best car.
Do you have one?
I don't have one.
Why not?
Well, I'll tell you why. Because I think that there's going to be big improvements in the batteries going forward, and it's just I don't want to get stuck with a car that can drive 250 or 300 kilometers. It's
like buying the first Walkman.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. How'd that go? Yeah.
Still have it. A collector's item now, probably. Okay, so Brad J. Lamb, Realty, and you have so much going on. You're always inventing and creating. You're such an entrepreneur, which is wild. I would just sort of quit it at that amount of wealth, to be honest. I would just give it up and move to an island where Leonardo DiCaprio's building a resort and just do nothing for the rest of my life. Any surprises in store this year from your great team and from yourself?
Yeah. We're actually trying to make a very cool acquisition. I'll tell you about maybe next time.
Oh,
but it's pretty amazing. It's a new line of business we're going to get into, and it's exciting. It's the entertainment line of things.
No way.
Yeah.
Ooh. All right. Well, if you need a project manager,
and
I'm the guy. We're getting a call. You can put it on if you want. Yeah. Hey, you're on air. You're Brad J. Lamb's on the phone. Sorry, we just put on the call.
Yeah.
Go. Yeah, you're on air.
Oh, hey, how you doing?
Good.
I just real quick, we used to make everything out of glass, and which is sand. Every time you walk through, Obama always wants to talk about going green and all these other people. Just go through a grocery store and ask yourself, where's all this stuff going to end up? It's all plastic. It's not going to dissolve. They're not going to recycle it all. On every stinking shelf, every chemical food product is all plastic, which is oil. It's just ridiculous that we never address the real problem. The pollution from plastic is incredible. We see it out in the ocean.
I know. I saw a floating dildo in Mexico. It was weird. Okay.
Did you really?
No.
Yeah.
Trying to make
That's a sea cucumber.
Yeah, they do float.
It's part of the Vibrator Olympics.
No, you're right
Anyway,
about that. You're totally right about that, and that's something we need to change.
now, if you go to now, Spain has a bottling plant. Now, Spain uses no plastic, as far as I know, for any of their wines or any of their food products or anything. There's practically no one that operates the plant. It's all automated. All the glass is recycled. It's a real interesting program. And it just runs 24/7, and it's fresh glass. It's recycled. I mean, those are programs to look at.
That's good to know, man. We appreciate. Where are you calling from?
Chi-Town.
All right, man. Chicago.
Cool.
Well, thanks for the call, and call anytime. We appreciate it.
No problem.
Sorry to cut you off. Glass dildos don't float in the ocean, by the way. So they
Unless they're hollow.
Yeah. Oh,
then they will.
Sorry, we're talking about the big surprises in store. Something you maybe can let us know in a couple weeks, but having to do with the entertainment industry, and then we cut you off. Here.
Oh, well, just got a bunch of things. Got a whole bunch of new developments. We have one called Bauhaus. I don't know if we talked about that last.
No,
time
have we talked about? No, not that one.
No, it's so Bauhaus is the original. Well, the first sort of modern architectural movement out of Germany. Mies van der Rohe. I actually talked to a real estate broker today about that. They said, we named it, Mies van der Rohe's movement, the Bauhaus movement. I said, you know who Mies van der Rohe is? And he's like, no. And I said, do you know who Charles Dickens is? And he says, no. I'm like, are you a fucking idiot? Really? Charles Dickens? We just went through Christmas, right? I don't know. Anyway, that was a segue. So yeah, we're doing a bunch of
you just get frustrated by dumb people.
Oh, it just kills me. Kills me, the lack of knowledge.
Yeah,
like anything beyond, 10 years after your birth, people know nothing.
Yeah, they get stale. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Melchior, Balthazar, and Charles Dickens brought Jesus the gifts. That's what you're talking about, right? Charles Dickens and Christmas.
Christmas Carol.
Oh, all right. I had it twisted.
Yeah, the very famous, tale that we all watch. Well, not all of us, but it's on television every year, and it was a book. And
yeah, I'm a Jew. I have an excuse.
Yeah, you know Charles Dickens. Is.
Of course, I know Charles Dickens. I know a little bit about architecture too.
Chucky
You'd be
Diggs.
surprised. I took a bit of art history back in the day. So yeah, Carleton. I don't remember much because that's the product of the most amount of pubs on one campus problem. But the Bradley. Are we any plans to do the Bradley? The hotel chain. Are we going to do? Because I want to do that. I want to be your front door guy. I want to be the guy. I'm like the gap greeter at the Bradley. He's building a friggin' hotel after his name. How great is that?
That's awesome.
Yeah, you got to do that.
Yeah, I'm doing it. So the thing is, I've got so much shit on the go.
Yeah,
I have like 17 condo projects on the go in Canada. I've got probably 4 apartment buildings. I think it's 4, maybe 5 apartment buildings that are on the drawing boards. I have this new thing I just told you about. And then I have the hotel project, which we have 2 sites in Toronto. I'm working on a site in Calgary.
Nice.
And I'm going to buy a motel in Niagara Falls.
Really?
And turn into like the coolest kind of rock and roll
about time
hotel in Niagara Falls.
Do that.
It's going to have like one of those center court cool pools, a bar.
Love it.
A great little restaurant.
Bring back rollerblades.
50 rooms.
Or roller skates, Like girls with short shorts and roller skates, just like around it.
How about the girls with the short shorts? That's
okay, sure. We'll stop at short shorts.
Anyway, I think Niagara Falls needs something like that. So, anyways, it's a lot of work, and I still have all the other shit I'm doing.
Yeah,
so
I don't know how you do it.
I'm trying to get around to it.
I started like a social media influencer company, and like I'm dying doing even like all that, and that's like 2 things.
Right.
It's amazing, man. I'm telling you, it's serious.
How do you manage the stress from doing all that stuff? Like, how do you pace yourself?
Well, I guess the way. So, initially when I first started, getting involved in, I guess, business, I was affected by, bad people and bad decisions and just pressure and stuff. But then, I sort of just came around to the idea that some things will fail. There are assholes in the world that will sue you and affect your life and stuff. And so the way I look at it is I don't look for 100%. I look for 80%. If I can have 80% wins and 20% losses, then I'm okay. So if something's turning into a loss, I'm just like, okay, that one's one of the 20%. Just the only way to get through life as a businessman or woman is to realize you're not going to be perfect all the time.
I like that. You know, we had some. I'm all about kind of being a little more inspirational in the new year. I'm being very serious. It was after spending some time with my kid away, and I took 2 weeks, and I forgot about the show. Like, and I promised myself that I had to do that because I was getting way too stressed out. Massive headaches, to be honest. Like to the point where I had to go see a doctor, get a scan, and everything's fine. But like, it was so bad, and so that we all have this big plight sometimes for maybe to be at a Brad Lamb status, to be honest. When you start to think of wealth and stuff and power and stuff like that. But you gotta accept that there are losses, and you gotta also enjoy the quality of life, and that's a promise at whatever level you're at. I think is important for people to remember, and they should also live in the Lamb standard because it helps get you there.
Well said.
Brad? Can we help create that campaign for you on air? I'm serious. Like, can we have a brainstorm next Wednesday? We're gonna come with some ideas for the new billboards for Brad. We come up with some. We had a guy here on the show who now does all of Pat Finelli's jingles on Pizza. Like, he does all his new jingles and stuff.
Really?
Yeah. That's like, you don't need a media agency. You just need the brain of Todd Shapiro.
So I never hire a media. That's why my ads are so shit. We never hire a media.
No, because they're effective. How many people know about the Brad the head on a lamb, bro?
They're effective, but they're not award-winning type ads where, I've had friends in the ad agencies and they're like, Brad, just let us do it for you. I mean, and I'm like, no, I got to do it myself.
No, because that's bullshit too. They're just feeding each other, giving themselves these certain awards that look good just to make sure they can justify taking a huge percentage of it. That's not the way. No, that's it, man. We're going to do this for you. Hunter's a big part of it too.
Sure.
Hunter,
huge.
Yeah, Hunter can translate them into French.
Oh, yeah. Lamb would be agneau.
Well, you speak French.
Parfaitement, merci.
What a talent. Okay. You're a comedian and you speak French?
Oh, yeah.
My goodness. You're going far.
I eat the hell out of a box too.
He does all the voiceovers for all like the actors that translates into the voiceovers for commercials in French.
Oh, really?
So he does Odell Beckham Jr.
I'm French Odell Beckham Jr.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you put on a different voice for that?
Oh, yeah. I just do cheeseball French guy. Like, bonjour, je m'appelle Odell Beckham Jr. Something like that.
If you ever need French, if you ever build in Quebec, you got your guy.
I did build in Quebec.
Oh, that's right.
I just said, fuck that, we're doing everything in English.
Okay. That's that
Good.
easy.
Fuck that.
Brad, well, we look forward to it. We're going to have the brainstorm next week, and thank you always for your expertise, for your knowledge, and just for being a good guy, salt of the earth, even though I'd love just to own one of your cars.
I love this guy.
Oh, everyone loves this guy. He's fucking our dragon, bro.
That's not true.
We're gonna, no, they're jealous of this guy. That's the problem. They feel inferior because they're not confident in their own skin. That's what I'm realizing. I swear to God, that's what it is. Fuck
From
those
your
guys.
Mouth to God's ears.
Right. And besides, we have a couple pops once in a while too.
Sure do. Yeah.
Damn straight. Yeah. Still owe me a Raptor game. Okay. How was your New Year's party? Sorry, I missed it.
You missed an amazing party, man.
No doubt.
It was great. It was fantastic.
I'm picturing the Michael Jackson video for "Remember a Time" with Eddie Murphy and all the Egyptian people dancing around.
No, we weren't doing that.
Okay, I can only imagine.
That was a great party.
Good.
It really was, yeah.
Well, Brad, we'll see you next Wednesday. Thanks again for hanging out with us. Go to TorontoCondos.com.
The Todd Shapiro Show, Canada Laughs, SiriusXM 168. The Todd Shapiro Show.
Hey, thanks for watching that video. You can subscribe over there, or you can watch another video over here. And I think this is the Daniel Bryan yes chant, so what the hell? Yes, Todd Shapiro Show. Daniel Bryan can't wrestle anymore. It's a very sad story.